So you want to start a YouTube channel, but you don't know where to start. What kind of gear do you need? What kind of computer do you need to edit? And what are the intricacies that you need in order to start shooting YouTube videos, hitting the ground running? We're going to discuss exactly what you need, and I'm going to leave links in this description for you to go right to them. And I want you to get your YouTube set up and going, especially those people who are over 40. Now I can see clearer. Hi, my name is John, and I help people with editing tips, camera reviews, and YouTube growth hacks. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to hear more. Okay, so let's get the elephant declared here. Gear is basically what you need to have in order to do a YouTube channel. Now, that said, there are caveats to all that, and that is if you have any kind of a phone within the last 10 years, you can record a YouTube video. I say that because all these cameras that are coming out on these phones are absolutely amazing. Granted, yes, there are things that the phone can do that a camera can't do and vice versa, but there's more of the things that the camera can do that a phone can't do. So what am I going to tell you to do if you are on a budget? Well, I'm going to tell you, start out with what you have. There's a famous quote that goes around, and if you are a photographer, you know what this quote is. The best camera for the moment is the one that you have on you. Let me repeat that. The best camera is always going to be the one that you have on you. There's going to be times when you have a vlogging moment, for example. And if you don't have your camera set up, your gear, and all you have is your phone, well, guess what? I'm going to do a little vlogging on my phone. Let's just jump on in and start with the obvious thing, and that is the camera. What is it that you need for a camera? I would always suggest getting it like a Z30 if a budget is your concern. Z30s can be found on Facebook Marketplace, eBay for $400 to $600 used, and if you want brand new, you can probably find them for $700 with a wide lens 16 to 50 DX lens. It is a DX, which means it's cropped, a cropped sensor, and that's what Nikon uses. If you're wanting to get a Sony or the Canon equivalent, the Sony EV1, I believe, is also a good camera to get if you are in the Sony game. And for those of you who are in the Canon realm, the Canon M50 Mark II, I believe, is out, and that is also a very good choice for you if you are looking to get into a camera from a phone, or if you just want to jump in and you have the funds to do it, go ahead and jump in and get yourself a cheap enough camera that's going to look good. All of these cameras that I have mentioned will be mentioned in these descriptions, and they are the crop sensors. I am actually shooting this one on a Nikon Z8, which is a full frame camera. And cameras are a big deal because obviously, you need to have something to record with. Now, the next thing that you need to be able to do is hear. You want to be able to have something that is going to record your audio, because if without the audio, you're not going to be able to hear what the person's saying. You're just going to be back into the Laurel and Hardy days where you have to act it all out. So what I suggest doing, and I'll just show you, and these are all going to be Amazon links, so you can go right to them and see what they are. If you like them, go ahead and purchase them. I love them. I wouldn't recommend them if they weren't good for a YouTube channel. Before I jump into the camera, before I leave the camera category, I want to just show you the Nikon Z30, and it is right here. And you can, it does 4K. It is absolutely something that people will always use. And now I've got a circular polarizer lens on top of this, and this is the kit lens, and I just had it from my very first camera. I had these filters so that I could do different photography, and I never really learned how to use them or went out to try and use them. But so you're going to be able to use the Z30. It does not have an eyepiece. It is all going to be just on your screen here. And if you're on the screen, you can touch and poke, and then all you have to do is flip it out and you can see exactly what you're doing. Z30 is a great camera to have. The batteries are not going to last very long, and that's why I suggest that you get one that you can plug in. If you're going to have it always at your desk, I would suggest just getting the dummy battery to put inside of here, and then it just has a lead that goes right into plugging it into the wall, and you'll never lose battery. The other thing you can do is you can get more than one battery. These batteries are about $20 to $30 each, depending on where you get them. It is, of course, if you buy them in multiples of 2 or 3 or whatever, you're going to get a better deal. The Z30, like I said, 4K and no eyepiece. So you're all on the screen here, and enough said on the Z30. You're going to find the same thing with the Sony and also the Canon version, because these are entry-level cameras and they are going to not give you huge battery life. And there is a dummy battery for each one of these setups. The other thing, we're going to move on to microphones. Now, microphone number 1 is actually in use, and that is the Rode. And I actually have a boom stand that is standing right above my head, right here, and it is pointed directly at my mouth so that you can hear me really good and clear. What is the first thing that is going to deter someone from listening to you on the YouTube channel? Poor audio. People can put up with bad video, but they cannot put up with bad audio. So you want to make sure that you have a microphone that is going to be close enough, which is why I have a boom mic that's out of the frame. Today we're having more people that have, I'll bring this back in, this one in too. They have more people who are just sitting here with these kind of microphones, sitting off to the side and just basically talking. I have this, it's a puff, what's it called, a pop filter, that's what it's called. So this is just the Blue Yeti, and I can put this one in the description as well. This is really good. I use this to record several different forms of audio, like perhaps a meeting or a Bible study, and put it in the middle of the room. It does 360, and you can set it up and you can put the gain on, and lo and behold, you have good audio for the situation. The only other thing that would make it better would be to have something like a lav mic. Now this is a lav mic that goes to my Boom XD Comica, and they are pretty much the same thing like you've seen the DJI. It's one of these things, and you just put it on here, or you could be more inconspicuous, plug it in, and then you have this smaller part, and it's just going to be a little tiny ball instead of this. DJI actually has the magnets that will hide this unit. I'm not sure if I want to have the magnet near me, just because it's a magnet and I don't want magnets around me. So if I would opt to have the little unit put in my pocket or down below, and then have the extension up here on me. But because I have a boom stand, I can do that. So anyways, I want to say next is the Rode. It's this one here. Yeah, I can see that. Let's do that. You can see that, and yes, you can put the dead cat on top of it, so it will actually filter out the wind noise. This is a really good thing because it can go on top of said Z30, plug it in, and you've got something nice. Now, one thing about the Z30, it has stereo mics. And the stereo mics are pretty good if you're going to be at point blank. And I don't know if you can see this, but you have them right here. And there are wind muffs that you can put on the Z30 here that would also hinder the wind when you're outdoors. Okay, so the next thing that you need, I mentioned you need a camera and you need audio, but if you don't have this next item, it really doesn't matter what you have, because you're not going to be able to record anything, and that is a memory card. Memory cards are huge, and what I use are, like my Z8, I use the well, my Z6 II, I use an XQD. So the one that I'm recording on right now is a CF Express card. And these are a different kind of card. They're much more expensive, they're much faster, and can handle 8K. Now my camera does shoot 8K. I do not shoot in 8K because my Z8 is an absolute beast when it comes to recording onto a card. It's a memory hog. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I would suggest is that you get an SD card, and that SD card that I would suggest you get is anything that says it can do 4K. Now the exact kind I am going to put in the description that I recommend. As a photographer for about 15 years, these are the kinds of SD cards I would recommend. Mainly because these SD cards can fail. So can the XQDs, so can the CF Express cards. But the ones that I recommend are highly less likely to fail on you. Granted, if you are using them in an abusive manner, they're going to fail. So just be careful with your cards, and you're never going to have an issue. If you have a way to download your media from your camera with a USB-C cable, I would do that. If you want to just take it out, put it into the side of your MacBook Pro, that too will work. We've covered cameras, we've covered microphones, and we've covered memory cards. Those are the three things that you need in order to record a YouTube video. The next thing that you need is some way to edit your YouTube video. You can either do them with your phone. I would highly suggest that you don't, because you want to be able to see what you're looking at and hear what you're looking at. Now that's probably the biggest thing, is you want to be able to have it something on a bigger screen. A phone will work absolutely fine. I know people have done that and still are doing that. So if that's one thing that you do not want to have around is a computer, great. Go ahead and run with the phone. There is, if you have an iPhone, you can download iMovie, and I believe you can download Final Cut, but it might require an iPad. Now the computer that I recommend is that you get something that it has the Apple logo on it. I recommend also that within that Apple logo you find something that has an M in it. For instance, I have an Apple MacBook Pro M1. It's a few years old now. It's, I think they came out in 2020 or 2021. It's working great for 4K video. Now, if it goes to 8K video, I don't know how much it's going to work. I do have mine all maxed out at 64 gigs. Now you can get them up to 256 gigs of RAM. 64 is great for an M1. If you want to get an M2 or M3, it's negligible on the improvement for the hardware. So choose wisely. I would suggest for your YouTube videos, because YouTube does downgrade a little bit and crunches the actual file you upload to it, they make them as small as possible. And so your stuff is not going to look as crisp and as great as it does on your monitor. So that said, I would suggest the Apple M1 if you can find any. Now, Apple themselves don't sell brand new M1s. You have to find them on the used market. And I'm not sure what they are going for right now, but again, if I can find them on Amazon or I can find them on eBay, I would definitely do that. All right, and so you have a computer to edit your video on, you have a camera, you have a camera SD card or something to record onto, and a microphone. What else is left over that you need to do to have a good looking video? Well, I'm just going to tell you that the answer is right behind me, and that is lighting. You need to have some lighting. Now, if you don't have the money for lighting, I suggest just using, now you may not be able to see it in the shot, or maybe you will. Go to a window during the day and just let the light of the day light you up. I like to do things where I can control the light a little bit more. So if I don't have any blackout curtains, I will just wait till nighttime, and then that's what I will do for lighting. So I don't want to have to compete with other light if I don't have to. So that's the whole key there. So if there is anything else that you are looking to use and want to use on a YouTube channel setup, go ahead and comment those in the comments. And let's talk about what you think is a good thing to have on your YouTube channel, because there are some things that you can use, but I'm just telling you the basics right now. This is what you need to have for your YouTube channel. I want to encourage you to go ahead and get onto our Get On Camera Challenge, and that link is actually on the description as well. Amazing! So you can get your camera out and start using it, and it's a free little course, 3 days, and it just encourages you to get your camera out and record. And then when you have a recording, I want to see what you've got, and so you just reply to me and show it to me on your YouTube. Upload it. You don't have to show it, like you can put it on unlisted and then just send me the link and I can watch it. I would love to do that. If you're still shy and don't want to do that, that's fine as well. But I want to encourage you to get onto YouTube and start sharing your experiences, because your experiences as someone over 40 or 50, you have experience that people need, people want to hear, and people are struggling. So that is it for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We're going to talk to you next week, and have a wonderful and blessed day.